Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Well, I'm going to try that again. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I know you're more excited to see everybody else than you are to see me. It's okay. I don't take offense to it. You're all good. It is lovely to see you all here on this very first day of August. If you're a teacher or a rabbi, you're starting to panic because, school is coming, high holidays are coming, all the fall things that we both celebrate and maybe dread a little bit are coming. So it is so lovely to see all of you here. You may be wondering who my lovely sidekick is tonight. This is my mom, Lori. I come by my music honestly because she has been a guitar player for a very long time. My grandma is a piano teacher. She's the one who got me started on guitar, and when I knew that I wasn't going to be able to play guitar this week, I called her and I said, "Can you come play with me?" And she said, "I would be happy to." This is the benefit of being able to have a mom who does music and leads the prayers and everything else. And fortuitously, because my voice is a little bit froggy tonight, it is even more helpful to have you up here as well. So, because my voice is froggy, I will also invite you all to sing nice and loud tonight, even though I am also mic'd. But you can help me along with that if my voice starts to waver a little bit this evening. We are going to begin our service tonight with a nigun, a song without words. This is one that we have done before. Depending on if you've been here or not, it may or may not be familiar to you, so we'll go through it a couple times, and when you feel comfortable and when you feel ready, come and join along with us. Pleasure now to invite up Sharon Clark to kindle our Shabbat lights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
We are going to continue now with the words of Shir Chadash, singing a new song unto God, the words of which can be found on page 344.
Shir
we continue welcoming in Shabbat, we turn to the words of Lecha Dodi, welcoming in our Sabbath bride on pages 20 and 21. As a reminder, our custom is that we sing verses 1, 2, and 9, and when we get to verse 9, we will rise and face the entrance behind us to welcome in Shabbat. We continue with Lecha Dodi. Please be seated. We have a plethora of psalms that we get to say on Shabbat, and one of the favorites, of course, is Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir. This is a melody that is literally notated as unknown. It is that old that we don't actually know who wrote it. So we don't get to give anybody credit for it, but we have this melody that has been so pervasive, not only in the Reform movement, but really around the world. So as we sing Mizmor Shir tonight and we sing this melody, we've done it here before, some of you may know it, some of you it may be new to you. Know that this is a melody that many Jews all around the world are singing as we sing this tonight. And so we continue with Mizmor Shir on page 22.
Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, לשמחה עליון ולזמר לשמחה עליון להגיד בבוקר הצלחה 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 ואמונתך בלילות ברור מלא עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון מכינור מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון אדוני בפועלך לך במעשה ידיך רנה מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון.
We continue now with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, which is on page 28. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yalalai lai lai 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 Yalalai lai lai.
Please be seated, and we continue reading Ma'ariv Aravim together on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach sha'arim uvitvuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmeroteham barakia kirtsono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech vechoshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi laila uma'avdil bein yom uvein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch alenu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. We continue on page 32 with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta. Elokein Adonai Eloheinu b'shofenu u'kameinu nasiach bechukecha v'nizmach b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem negei yomam v'layla negei yomam v'layla ve'ahavat tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael
We're going to do tonight an introduction to the Shema that we don't usually do, but these words are really what the Shema is about and means. This idea to listen and to be ready and to really pay attention. So we're going to sing through this 3 times, and by the end of the 3rd time, or any time therein, I will invite you to rise, so that by the time that we recite the Shema, we'll all have risen and be standing together. Whenever you are ready, you are welcome to join us, and within those 3 times, rise, and if not, I will indicate to you when to rise.
Listen, Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Listen, Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Listen, Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha, vidibartam bam, beshivtecha beveitecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'yitem kedoshim leElohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem leElohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. We'll continue reading responsively on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then we shall rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. And so we do that together on page 40 now. Kamocha, Bailim Adonai, mi kamocha, Nedar b'kodesh, Nora, Dilot, Osei, Philet, Nora, Dilot, Osei, ראו בניך בקיים לפני משה ומרים תהילי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר קודש אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Our next prayer, Hashkivenu, is a prayer that we say every night before we go to sleep. The words can be found on page 42. And this is a prayer that you can imagine, whether you say it or not, that there are parents around the world in many different places that are saying this, praying for a shelter of peace for themselves, for their children, for their parents, for their families. This is our prayer that we ask God to join us, to be with us, and to shelter us in peace. And so we join together. Oh, that's interesting. The words sort of smushed together. That was not like that when I made the slide, so I'm not sure what happened. So here's what we're going to do. The Hebrew is on page 42, where you can actually read it. The English of this prayer that we're going to do tonight is what you see behind us on the slides. We'll continue with Hashkivenu on page 42.
Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We transition in our service from asking God to shelter us in peace to reminding us, all of us, despite the fact that we're here, it really is Shabbat. And Shabbat always happens whether we want it to happen or not. Often we need it to happen even when we don't think we need it to happen. And so we sing our prayer of Vishamru, which reminds us exactly of that, the words of which can be found on page 44.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And so we continue now with our congregational tefillah beginning on page 46. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, V'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Saram. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Hayim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem emunato lishene afar michamocha ba'al givurot umido melach melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. Our service, appropriately every day, every week, has a prayer for peace. And this week, with everything that has happened in the past week, it certainly feels like we could use some peace, both here and abroad. And so tonight, as we sing Shalom Rav, I want you to hold one thought, one place that you are thinking of that's in need of peace. Maybe that's inner peace within yourself. Maybe that's peace between yourself and someone else, or between two people that you know. Perhaps it's in a place that's near and dear to you, somewhere in this country or in this state, or perhaps somewhere abroad. But wherever that is, hold that place close in your heart as together we join with Shalom Rav on page 60. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. Bechol ed ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam, Tasim We are going to continue in that vein with our prayer for the country and then our prayer for Israel. And so it's my pleasure to invite up Cameron Trable and Taylor Rishier.
Prayer for our country. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of those who walked before us, be now our source of truth and light. Remind us that we are not alone in the pursuit of justice as we care for this country that we call home. May we come to hear America singing in all our varied tapestry of sounds and voices as together we strive to nurture the compassion and wisdom to cultivate and comfort this land of life and liberty. As others have before us, may we unite to create a shore where those who are tempest-tossed can find again refuge, a land where all may be treated with fairness and dignity, a place where we are brave enough to see and be the light we need. And may our dream, our legacy, be the land that, though it never has been yet must be, the land where every person can be free.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for the state of Israel and for all of Israel's inhabitants. Makor Chaim, source of life, bless and strengthen those who defend the land and ensure their safe and speedy return home. Protect and guide them. Kadosh Baruch Hu, holy and blessed one, show Israel's leaders your path so they may act with wisdom, courage, and dedication, and that they may be unwavering in their pursuit of peace. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening. Matir Asurim, freer of the captives, return all those who are kidnapped safe and sound to their homes without the spilling of more innocent blood, without any more souls being tarnished by horrific acts. Baal HaRachamim, master of compassion, help us to hold the humanity and the heartache of the Jewish people while also holding the humanity and the dignity of the Palestinian people. As we are made in your image, remind us of your ways, spread over us your shelter of peace, and fulfill the vision of your prophets. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war.
Our thoughts now turn to those of our community and our families who are ill and in need of healing. And on this Shabbat, we think of Alan Wolski, Alex Quintero, Zora Schutzman, Christine Dumas, Anthony Dumas, Renaud Verdier, Barry Fidlow, Denise San Filippo, John Eulenberg, and all who suffer whom we know not by name. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech v'yirped kol cholei Yisrael, v'yishlach lahem bimhera refuah shlema, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, v'nomar. Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind, and let us say, Amen. We continue now singing Mi Sheberach, our prayer for healing, the words of which can be found on page 253.
Before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit,
We take a few moments now for silent prayer and reflection using either the words of our hearts or the words of the pages in front of us.
Say shalom, b'roma. Uya say shalom. Uya say shalom aleinu. Ya say shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom, b'roma. Uya say shalom. Uya say shalom aleinu. Ya say shalom aleinu. We ask for peace on earth as we say Amen. Veimeru, Amen. Veimeru, Amen. Amen. We raise our voice as one and we say Amen. We raise our voice as one and we say Amen.
There is a fly that has decided to make the reading stand its home this Shabbat. Apparently flies also need Shabbat. That's what I'm learning from this experience. So I'm going to share a story tonight, and I'm not sure how many of you have noticed the date on the calendar, but it's the 8th of Av, which means that tomorrow is the 9th of Av, or what we call Tisha B'Av. And the 9th of Av is one of our saddest days. It's the day that marks the destruction of the first temple, the destruction of the second temple. Some say that parts of the Spanish Inquisition happened on Tisha B'Av, that there were certain rules from the Nazi party that came down on Tisha B'Av. And so we use this day as a day to mark all of the terrible things that have befallen the Jewish people. Traditionally, it would be a day where it's a fast day, and you might attend a service. You might hear the chanting of lamentations, Echa. If you haven't ever had a chance to do that, I hope that you will. If you ever have an opportunity to be at Asrui or another Jewish camp during Tisha B'Av, you might have the experience like I did, where we had to build things and we left and somebody came in and destroyed them. That's not a good way to teach the holiday, but it was an educational moment. But there are many different ways that we can observe this holiday. And so, when we talk about Tisha B'Av, the thinkers and the rabbis, when they're asked, why does Tisha B'Av happen? Why have all of these horrible things befallen us? And they say it's because of what we call sinat chinam, baseless hatred, all this hatred that exists in the world. And so this story reflects some of that and reflects this idea of asking the question, why is it that all these terrible things have happened? And it goes like this. Once there dawned a day so sad that even the angels cried. Even Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob cried. Even Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel cried. Even the Torah and all 22 letters of the alphabet gathered to share in sorrow. The Jewish people had lost the long battle in a long war. The victors had left the land of Israel ruined, spoiled the beautiful temple that Solomon had built and filled it with idols. The Jews were forced to leave their homeland and to go far away to faraway countries as exiles or as slaves. Abraham looked out over the Temple Mount, which was in ruins, and tears fell down his face. When he saw that the dogs were roaming the Holy of Holies, a place so sacred that only the high priest had been allowed to enter, his sadness turned to anger. He raised his face and he cried out, "Creator of the world, how could you do this?" "It was not I who did this, Abraham," God said. "The Jewish people, your very own descendants, did this to themselves. They turned their backs on me and started praying to idols again. They turned their backs on the Torah. They even turned their backs on the 22 letters with which it is written." Abraham raised his chin defiantly. If the Jewish people were his children, then he would defend them as if he were a lawyer in a courtroom. He could call up Doug. "If they are guilty," he said, his voice rising, "then show me proof. Show me witnesses who will testify against them." God, knowing that it was only Abraham's sorrow that made him speak this way, said softly, "The Torah can testify." And after a few moments, the Torah stepped forward and looked around nervously. Abraham was not so gentle as he began his questioning. "How dare you," he began in a boiling whisper. "How dare you come here today and say that my children rejected you? In fact, they were the only nation in the world to accept you. They embraced you without asking a single question, without asking for anything." Then he stared at the Torah and demanded, "Are you really going to be a witness against the Jewish people on their day of greatest sadness?" The Torah, looking only at the ground, withdrew in silence. And God spoke again. "If the Torah will not testify, then bring in the 22 letters of the alphabet and hear what they have to say." "Aleph, how can you testify against my children?" said Abraham, whirling around to confront the first letter. "Have you forgotten that you begin the 10 Commandments? That you are the first letter in Anochi, I am the Eternal One, your God? Don't you remember that my children accepted those commandments on Mount Sinai when no other nation would?" Then, even before Aleph could answer, Abraham turned on his heel to face the second letter. "And what about you, Bet? Aren't you the first letter in the Torah? Bereshit, in the beginning, begins with you. Have you forgotten how even the youngest of my children love to read and to study, beginning with you?" Bet burst out sobbing and ran away, and all the other letters followed. Abraham turned to God and proudly said, "You see, no one will testify against my children." He paused to catch his breath, and in a different, lower voice, he added, "Remember that I left my home to travel to a distant land merely because you told me to. You promised to make my name great and my children numerous. Please, for my sake, have mercy on those children and bring them back from their exile." But there was no answer, and Abraham sat down, exhausted. But in his place, Moses stepped up to reason with God. "Master of the universe," he began, "I left the comfort of Pharaoh's palace to be a faithful shepherd to the children of Israel. For 40 years, I guided them when they wandered in the desert. And after all that, you wouldn't even let me into the land of Israel. And I didn't argue then, but now?" Moses' chin started to quiver. Won't you please have mercy on your children today for my sake? But only silence followed. And next, Rebekah called on God in a firm voice, if you won't listen to him, what about me? Don't I willingly leave my family to marry a man I had never met, all because I trusted you? Please, for my sake, have mercy on your children. Still, there was no answer from God. Jacob rushed forward and said, well, what about me? Didn't I work for 20 years in order to marry Leah and then Rachel? Didn't I risk everything to return to Canaan? We raised our children with such care, with such love, and now all of our work lies in ruins. Now it's all for nothing. When he fell to his knees crying bitterly, the silence that followed seemed impossible to bear. Finally, though, Rachel came forward. She touched Jacob's arm tenderly, took his upturned face in hers, and dried his tears. And she said, dear God, you know how dearly Jacob and I loved each other. You know that he was tricked into marrying my older sister Leah before he could marry me. And here she had to pause with the hands that she used to wipe her face because they were still wet from Jacob's tears. And when she spoke again, though her voice was steady, I did not let jealousy get the best of me. I, who am nothing more than a human being. So how could you, all-powerful God, be jealous of mere idols and allow your children to be punished because of them? Rachel's words rang clearly and sharply with the rightness of her argument. At last, God spoke, and God said, cry no more. Yes, the temple is destroyed, and the children of Israel have been sent away. But for your sake, Rachel, I promise that your children will return home to their home. I promise that they will rebuild the temple, and I promise that everything will be right again someday. And so we continue to pray for that day, for the coming of the time when there is a time when all of us are at peace, when hatred and jealousy fall by the wayside, so that we can all be united together. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Ricardo Martinez with some announcements on behalf of the board. Thank you to our ushers, Eric, Arnie, and David, and our security team. Join us for Shabbatapalooza on August 22nd. This extravaganza includes a wine and scotch tasting, fantastic food from Texas Roadhouse and Simon's Restaurant, and delicious dessert from Kona Ice, followed by Shabbat services. And on the same day, High Holiday registration opens, so on August 22nd. For more information on upcoming events, check out our weekly happenings email. And please join us after services for a wonderful oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
And I just want to add one more thank you, and that is to you. Thank you for leading with me. There are not so many rabbis that can call up their mom and say, can you lead services with me? And it's really a privilege to be able to do that. And it was only because I moved home that I was able really to do that. So thank you for leading services with me.
You're welcome.
I
It's a
appreciate
pleasure
it.
to be here.
We are going to continue now with Aleinu, which is on page 282. It is my pleasure to invite up Paul and Judy Farber to open our ark doors. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit kedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, V'goralenu kechol hamonam, V'anachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech, Malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Litakein olam b'malchut Shaddai, V'nemar, V'haya Adonai, Lemelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad.
Please be seated. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who have died at this season and in years past. And on this Shabbat, we remember Harry Berman, father of Jack Berman, Albert Jacobson, father of Felice Dorsey, Harris Crowitz, friend of Maureen Headington, Betty Crowitz, friend of Maureen Headington, Molly Bergen, sister of Harriet Heisler, Eli Rubin, father of Florence Herbach, grandfather of Alan Herbach, Evelyn Wall, mother of Irene Honig, Ellen Hummel, mother of John Hummel, Frida Beister Landau, grandmother-in-law of Eileen Landau, great-grandmother of Susan Landau Van Dyke, Jacob Meisel, grandson of Shyla Lux, Paul Immerwar, special friend of Charles Lunar, Isidore Ritzner, grandfather of Michelle Miller, Sophie Marowitz, grandmother of Carol Nymark, Blanche Lidowitz, aunt of Carol Nymark, Marcia Kirschenbaum, cousin of Carol Nymark, Jerry Gilbert, great-uncle of Susan Rothschild, Emil Gidali, grandfather of Karen Settler, Abraham Dorfman, grandfather of Beth Spenadel, Richard Crinsley, brother-in-law of Ann Stein, Samuel Simon, father of Frida Yoon Angst, Diane Weiss, my aunt and your sister-in-law. And we mourn the recent passing of Muriel Blitzstein, mother of Deborah Camardo and grandmother of Ryan Camardo, and David Anthony Moden Cohen, friend of Rabbi Kaznowski. To those names, we add the names of anybody else who you might be thinking of tonight, whether you're observing Shiva or Shloshim or a Yartzeit or just remembering somebody in your heart. I invite you to share their name aloud as my eyes go around the room. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We join together now for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabam, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Ve'imeru amen, ve'imeru amen. be seated. This evening, we're going to conclude with the song We Rise, because while it can be used as an anthem for many things, I think certainly on what I am calling this Erev Tisha B'Av, it is an anthem of how we as Jews have continued to rise above all of the hatred and above everything that has happened to us. We continue to be here. We have been here for 5,785 years, and God willing, we will be here for another 5,785 years. And so we join together now.
We rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided rise, with spirit to guide us rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer, we're right here in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer, we're right here and we rise, all of the children rise, elders with wisdom rise, ancestors surround us rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer, we're right here in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer, we're right here and we rise, up from the wreckage rise, with tears and with courage rise, fighting for life we rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer, we're right here in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer, we're right here and we rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided rise, with spirit to guide us rise.
And so on that note, we will rise by joining together. Not physically, you don't have to rise, but we will rise spiritually. And who doesn't love to, anticipate an oneg and cookies? So let's join together in Kiddush, the words of which can be found on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. We join together in Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ha-motzi lechem min haaretz, te'avon. In moments of joy and in moments of sadness, may it be on this Shabbat and all days going forward that we are always able to rise. Shabbat Shalom.